Use ChatGPT. Okay. Um, so today my topic is think before you type, protecting your digital identity in the AI era. My name is Samantha Chiazor, and a little bit about me. First of all, I'm a graduate from University of Birmingham. I studied law. I am also an LLM candidate at UCLA, and I will be specializing in technology and media and entertainment law specifically. And so my current interest lies between data protection and compliance. And basically, to put it in layman terms, my job entails that AI companies are properly regulated and making sure that they're following the laws and regulations of their specific society and countries. And so my first question is, would you type your password into AI, into ChatGPT, Grok? You wouldn't, right? No? Okay, perfect. So most people would not type their password into AI tools, but they would put personal data like their name, surname. Might put work documents. For instance, maybe you wanted to summarize a document for you. You're looking for a way to quickly extract information from your work documents, and you might actually put conversations. I've seen people do crazy things, believe me. I've seen someone put in information to get relationship advice in ChatGPT, for instance. I've seen people put very personal conversations. Instead of visiting a doctor, you're putting it into AI. So most people might not put in their passwords, like I said, but they will put in data that is identifiable with them. So everyday use of AI. As I mentioned previously, you're probably using it in your office, and if you're not using it in your office, your colleagues are using it. You're probably asking for personal and professional advice. You're most likely using it to summarize sensitive information, and you might be uploading files and documents for analysis. And so that's why this presentation matters to you. Now, your data has value. One thing people don't recognize is they think it's just a simple conversation, a simple text, but your data has value. Now, companies are investing billions to understand human behavior. They want to understand what you like, how you think. They want to understand what influences your decisions, and they want to understand like your real-time thoughts. This data allows them to understand exactly how to target you to become their customer. And so they're willing to pay any amount to leverage it and make profits from this. Now, there's a common misconception. We believe that when we put in data into AI, we think that it's private, it's just between me and ChatGPT, nobody has my password, so they can't access this information. But this is actually a lie. First of all, AI systems process and store your inputs. I think we might have noticed ChatGPT kind of studies your behavior and knows exactly how you think to some sort of an extent, because you're consistently feeding it information. Data might be retained for system improvement or logging. They actually do write this in their terms and conditions before you sign up. And then next, the conversations can exist beyond the user interface. So even after you've deleted it, long after it's been gone, they still have access to that information. And that's why, for instance, when we have situations where like there's a crime committed in courts, for instance, they're able to retrieve data that has been long deleted. It means that they are definitely storing it to some sort of an extent. And apart from all of that, there are other ways that your information can be accessed, which is system vulnerabilities. Now, this is the one that a lot of people might not recognize or know about. The first thing I would like to talk about is that there was a report by IBM X-Force where they found that 300,000 credentials were found in InfoStealer malware. What this means is that over 300,000 chats on ChatGPT were leaked, meaning that if you use AI in the past, for instance, your work documents and things of that nature, it means that your company's data was most likely leaked. Your business strategies, internal documents, personal conversations, and chats were most likely leaked if you were amongst the 300,000. Now, this is the three main ways that AI exposes your data. The first thing is data leakage, as I just mentioned previously. The next one is the one that I think we should focus on. It's prompt injection. So now, what prompt injection entails is that a hacker or someone that is good with prompting is able to put in certain prompts into AI and retrieve sensitive data that might be restricted or otherwise not necessarily published, if that makes any sense. So we had a recent case, Microsoft Bing Chat 2023. Basically, someone was able to perform prompt injection and get internal information on how the AI system works. And that's done through prompt injection. So in layman terms, I'll give an example. If you own a business and you're putting in information into AI and things of that nature, you have a problem where someone can put in a second prompt and a prompt into the AI system and potentially get and retrieve information that pertains to your company by just putting in a few lines of code here and there. And then system prompt leakage. Sorry, time. So who's affected? The legal sector is affected because, first of all, if you're working in legal sector and you're putting in personal information from your clients and things like that, of course it's going to be affected. Public sector is affected. If you work in government or in any capacity that pertains to a nation, you should not be putting in sensitive government information into any form of AI, whether to access or to summarize or even internal emails. I know some people sometimes they're like, at this point, we're all tired of writing emails, so we just put it into ChatGPT and things of that nature. So try your best to avoid putting in anything personal. In summary, AI is not a private space. If it's personal, don't share it. If it's confidential, do not upload it. And if it belongs to your company, most importantly, keep it off AI. Be aware of how AI processes and retains data. And once again, my name is Samantha and I'd just like to remind you once again to think before you type. Thank you very much.